And then we're just gonna pour it right in there. Oh, wrong knob. Oh my gosh, look at the baby. We've got a bun in the oven. That's so stupid. Hello again. My name is Sasha, and I'm a baker and nutrition coach in New York City. And welcome back to another episode of Alt Baking Bootcamp with Well+Good. Today we're making a vegan Dutch baby pancake. And essentially what that is just a giant baked pancake. It's not actually a Dutch recipe. It's a German recipe, but it found its origins in a cafe in Seattle in which the owner's daughter could not pronounce Deutsch, which is the German word for German. And so Dutch was just a slip of the tongue, and voila, a Dutch baby pancake. So we're gonna dive right in, and we're gonna start by making our flax egg first. It's just flaxseed meal and warm water, 1 part flaxseed meal to 3 parts water. So I've got 4 tablespoons of flax, and I've got 12 tablespoons of warm water. And now we're just gonna mix them together. So very carefully, and you really don't want your water to be cold because the warmth of the water will start to create the volume and the binder that's going to act as an egg. So I have combined my flaxseed meal and my water, and I'm just going to stir, 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 make sure all the flaxseed has like fully been absorbed by the water, and then we're gonna set it aside so that it can set and congeal and do its thing. We're just gonna let this set for about 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm gonna tell you about why I've decided to make my Dutch baby vegan as opposed to not. So a Dutch baby pancake is a very big pancake that's baked in a cast iron, and it tends to get really tall and voluminous, and that volume will come from lots of eggs and cow's milk dairy in your typical recipe. But I was really curious to see if we could nail the same structure and end product without using any animal products, thus the vegan baby pancake. So we've got 4 flax eggs setting here, and now while that does its magical binding work, we're just going to start to prepare our cast iron. And by prepare, I mean just put the coconut oil straight into the cast iron. And my oven is preheating at 400 degrees. And so solid coconut oil right into your cast iron, and then you're gonna put the pan into the oven, and that's also going to preheat as the oven generates its own heat. Okay, let's go. Now all that's left is to combine everything in a blender, turn the blender on, and then you pour it into your cast iron and bake it. And so again, I cannot reiterate how glorious this recipe is, because you literally put everything into the blender and then you don't need to deal or fuss with any more dishes. And while I love a delicious and glorious recipe because it's delicious and glorious, I also like minimal cleanup because I hate washing dishes, and I do not have a dishwasher at home. So this is just the perfect recipe for like a lazy Sunday morning breakfast that seems more extravagant than it actually is. All right, so let's go with wet ingredients first. I'm gonna pour 2 cups of oat milk here. And I don't want you to think I'm a liar. I know you see lots of dishes here, but if I were at home, I would be pouring into a measuring cup and like going straight in here. This is just, you know, it looks nice. So wet ingredients first, because you don't want any of the dry bits to get stuck at the bottom. So we've got oat milk, we've got vanilla, and now a little bit of cane sugar. All right, so I've sifted my flour, and it's not necessarily a fool's errand. I definitely want you to do that, because if any lumps happen in the dry flour, there's a possibility that lumps could happen in the wet batter, and we just want to avoid that at all cost. Yeah, look at that. Your flax eggs have been sitting for about 5 to 6 minutes, or the amount of time that it's taking you to prepare your cast iron and pour everything into a blender. So everything is timing out just perfectly. And you can see that it's already starting to thicken, and it's kind of more of like a pudding situation, and the flax is expanding and absorbing the water, and that's exactly what you want. So 5 minutes is all you need, 10 minutes max, and now we're just gonna go right into the blender. We're gonna turn it on, we're gonna let it blend for 30 seconds, and then we're gonna carefully grab our cast iron, which is now hot, and we're gonna pour it right in there. See you in a second. All right, y'all, so I have my cast iron, which is nice and hot. And just for ease and handling, I have a sheet tray underneath. I like to rotate things when they're in the oven halfway through the baking process. And instead of trying to fumble with a handle and a towel, you just have this beautiful sheet tray that's much easier to grab onto. All right, so our blended batter is now gonna go directly into our cast iron, which has quite a bit of melted coconut oil. So if you're getting really gung-ho about pouring your batter in, you're gonna wanna be careful because it could come and splash you. And you know, that coconut oil is just gonna clap back, so be careful. Slowly, tediously. All right, so once you've got every last little bit in your pan, we're going to put it in the oven for about 30 to 35 minutes. We'll rotate it halfway through, and then we'll come back, put some berries and sugar on it, and then eat it right out of the pan. See you in a second. Oh my gosh, look at the baby. Look at this Dutch baby, all grown up, you guys. This is exactly what we wanted to happen. It has grown into this beautiful, fluffy, custard-like giant pancake. And while it's warm, I'm just gonna throw my berries on top, my powdered sugar, a very generous drizzle of maple syrup, and then we'll eat it right out of the pan. I know, exciting. Perfect Dutch baby pancake. And there's no eggs, and there's no dairy. It's vegan, and it's going to be so scrumptious, I already know. So again, we're gonna eat it right out of the pan. The cast iron retains heat for a very long time, so be very cautious when doing this. Grab your knife, grab your fork, and let's get ready to dig in. Oh my God, it's amazing. Let's see if I've done it justice. Look at this. Oh. All right, here we go. Little berry, little syrup. I'm scared it's hot. Oh my gosh. Every bite of this is just gonna melt in your mouth. I mean, it is custard-like, it is fluffy, it is airy, and it's crispy on the edges. And it just hits every single note that you want your like weekend morning pancakes to hit. It's just so remarkably easy and so remarkably tasty that I'm gonna be making this every weekend morning until the end of time. And I really think you should too. So give it a try. Let me know how it goes. And if you want more remarkably easy, remarkably delicious recipes just like this, please subscribe to Well+Good. I'll see you next time.